Hello people, I'm Jaby. Koay. Joining us is ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
I said your name weird, didn't I?
Did you?
ACHARA.
ACHARA, ACHARA.
We are going to discuss Blade Runner 2049, the film that just came out. Have you heard of it? It's pretty cool.
With spoilers.
With spoilers. This is the spoiler review. If you'd like to watch our non-spoiler review, there is a link in the description below. I don't think I need to explain the plot. I'm assuming that you've watched the movie already if you're here to watch this spoiler review. I really like the movie, as I said in the non-spoiler review. I thought it was long. I thought there was a number of shots that could have been shortened. Every step of the way, this dude's title is Blade Runner, and he just walks slowly everywhere. I'm like, damn, I would have liked if the actors moved just a little faster in this movie.
For me, it was when he went to Old Vegas to the hotel and he's like, slowly going at a snail's pace.
Right.
It was a beautiful shot, but I was like,
yeah. I felt like it was moving even slower than the first one. Harrison Ford moved around. It was like a detective movie. It moved at a slower pace, but it was moving at, I feel like, an 80s era detective movie pace. This sought out to copy it, but I think that it surpassed it in terms of its ability to move slow.
I think that used sparingly does punctuate the drama.
Sure.
It kind of makes your brain go, oh, this is significant. I should be checking this out. But when everything is at that pace, you're just kind of like...
But I mean, the film was beautiful. There were things happening, and it forced me to wonder how complicated it was. What's that girl's name?
Joy.
Whenever she was on screen, I was wondering about the complexity of the scene work, because there's often, like, you can see behind her and whatnot. So I
Yeah.
tried to imagine, like, I know I shouldn't have been thinking about it, but I imagined, like, okay, how would they shoot this? They'd get a clean plate. The style of the film was mostly locked off. The camera wasn't moving that much, so it would have been a little bit easier to deal with in post-production. But then it got really complicated during the love scene when she was inhabiting the body of that other woman. I'm like, how complicated must it have been to rehearse that sequence?
I didn't even think about that. I was just really into it.
And god damn it, Ryan Gosling had to make out with both of them multiple times to get that right. Fucking bastard. The thing that I was hoping for more than anything was more scene work between Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. It felt like for all this buildup to finally get there, it was just kind of short-lived. They spoke for a little bit, but then it just stopped. I just wanted more. I don't know why. I don't know what more they could have added, but I wanted more from that.
What I really appreciated about this movie over the original Blade Runner was that it really explored just the emotional complexities of the replicants. I cared about Kay. I cared about Joy. I cared about Deckard. I could really feel all of their emotions, and because of that, it really helps for us as an audience to think about and explore that theme of what makes us human. I really love that scene in the film where Ryan Gosling is ordered to kill the replicant child, and then he turns to Robin Wright and says, I've never killed anyone with a soul before. She's like, what gives it a soul? And he says, because it was born. So you question that. You're like, oh, he has feelings. He has emotions.
Right.
Does he have a soul?
I didn't really understand what the antagonist's objective was. Jared Leto played Neander Wallace. He wanted this baby for some reason.
He wants them to reproduce.
I wasn't really clear why. I feel like maybe I missed the dialogue somehow or something he was saying. You had mentioned the idea that he probably wanted them because he couldn't make replicants fast
I think
enough.
that's what he said. Although, like, when you think about it, you're like, but how long does gestation take?
Right. When you told that to me, I was like, well, the easy resolve to that is you have replicants build other replicants or have replicants build other factories to make more replicants. This process with the baby, whatever, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure it was something obvious that I missed that was said in the movie that completely justified why he wanted the child. But apparently Jared Leto did the whole thing blind.
What? Was he wearing, like, special contacts or something?
I guess so. I briefly read that online somewhere that he did everything blind in that movie. One of my favorite moments in the film was when Ryan Gosling is on that bridge and he sees the advertisement for Joy and realizes all of it was an illusion. All of it was programmed, and he fell for that programming. That's like the moment that made me go, love is just programming at the end of the day. That's what kind of messed with my head.
But then again, like, the moment when
She dies?
she dies, and the moment...
She's
the moment
programmed to
when-
feel that way,
no,
though.
but she sacrificed.
Because she's
told him,
programmed to.
Perhaps. But for me, I felt inspired. You know, I felt positive because I was like, look, even this holographic artificial intelligence program can learn to love someone or can have feelings. And for that brief moment, it was real. Whatever she was to him, because of their experiences and everything together, she would not be the same joy as your joy if you had, bought a program. But it was because of their interactions that she was specifically that way with him.
Sure.
And the moment when she was like, I love you, and then died, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Love.
Okay.
Love is powerful.
That's the power of love.
I understand what you're saying. Like, her experience with each person is gonna give her a custom and individual experience with each person that she is with. But at the end of the day, it's still a reflectionary program that is made by someone else and is designed to make someone else happy. It's like designed organic, but it's not really organic. That's what trips me out, is like at the end of the day, it's like your parents infused you with certain programming. You've had environmental influences, of course, that have given you a degree of programming in how you feel about love and what that means to you and how you give it and how you receive it.
But the feeling that happens is very real.
That is all questionable. That's what I'm trying to get at. When she freaked out and said, I love you, right before she got crushed, I'm like, well, Cortana didn't actually love him. Cortana just was, feeling what she was told she's supposed to feel based on input. Her self-sacrificing nature was all based on programming. Anyway, this could go on forever. I'm just saying, the movie struck a chord with me in that regard. Instead of it making me go, oh, robots can love too once you reach a certain point with them, I'm going, we're robots. That's what's messing me up.
In many ways, the replicants were more human than the humans.
I wouldn't say that. You're saying, and a lot of people are saying, what makes us human? I'm going, well, what makes something a robot? That's what I'm asking. Are we robots? It's not that, are they more human? That's an impossibility. They can't be more human than human. That doesn't make any sense. Because if we're the standard, then they would be more robotic.
What makes us human? Is it being able to self-sacrifice? Is it being able to love? Is it
whatever
having
is
the range of emotions?
Whatever else is on this list is all of those things, obviously.
Yeah.
And the ability
but they have them too.
Right. And so they're programmed to feel those things,
no,
right?
No, they're not.
None of that is...
No, but in the first movie, they said that the reason why they were revolting is because within that 4-year lifespan that they have, they start learning things, and through learning things, they start having emotions, they start having thoughts, they start having feelings, and then they realize, like, they don't want to be oppressed anymore. They want what we have. Why can't they have it when they feel the same? And that's why they revolt.
The impetus for all of this is human programming.
Right. So they were given the ability to think.
Exactly.
And, make choices and all of that. And then because of that, everything else happened.
I knew when they revealed early on that Ryan Gosling would think that he's the kid. I knew because they played that card so early that they were going to reveal later on that he wasn't actually the kid. The reveal was cool. I just kind of saw it coming. I was hoping for like one more reveal, but it never came. I mean, I was asking too much of the movie, I guess. Like I said earlier, I liked all the scenes in the film. I liked how everything was executed. I liked that moment when Robin Wright was killed. It cut to outside, and it was just all you saw was the motion, and that motion was kind of gross and violent.
Quick as well.
Yeah, the way that assassin lady, when she uses Robin Wright's face to scan the computer so that she can get access, she just drops it and the body falls. Everything was indicating the same idea, which is what is the difference between a robot and a human? Because even the way Robin Wright was handled in that moment, it's like, that's exactly how, the fact that a computer, a robot was treating a human that way, that's exactly how we treat machinery. The film is constantly poking you with the same philosophical question. I wish that the film did one thing, which is kind of truncated a little bit at the beginning to give more to the second half of the movie, because that's where a lot of the more meaty, more interesting things happen, like the revelation of the cult that was looking to go after the corporation was just kind of thrown in there and then tossed away within the same 2 minutes. I just wanted them to do more with the stuff explored in the second half of the film somehow.
You know what I really liked, and you did mention this in the spoiler-free review as well, is how it was a complete movie. So as I was watching it towards the end, I did think, are they gonna leave this open-ended now so that they can have a sequel? But I appreciated it that when they mention the girl child.
Yeah.
He goes back, he saves Harrison Ford, and then they go back to her.
Yeah.
So it's a complete movie on its own. It just wrapped itself up in a nice way. Not everything has to be a sequel.
I was just kind of impressed with how much Harrison Ford was doing in this
Yeah.
movie. They were like really putting him through the paces in this movie. Like he's fighting Ryan Gosling, he's running around, and now he's like drowning. They got him under the water. I'm like, whoa, they're really pushing Harrison Ford. That's crazy. I thought he was gonna die. I thought he was gonna die in this movie for sure. Because like, it just seems like Harrison Ford loves to self-sacrifice. He had been wanting to kill Han Solo for like 20 years, 30 years. I thought he was gonna try to do the same thing here to ensure that he wouldn't have to be part of any sequel to Blade Runner 2049. Just to like, emphasize on that again, I was happy with the fact that it was its own movie and doesn't need a sequel. It didn't even really need a prequel. It helps to watch both, but the film kind of keeps it all self-contained.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch the first movie, you'd be all right. Overall, I really liked the movie a lot. Again, I just thought it was long. That's my only gripe with it. On all other cylinders, it was firing strong.
Pew pew.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, how strongly you felt about this film. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.